guys, it's Anissa. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am filming the video that I do every single month for you guys. This is where I shop my stash. If you guys have never watched one of these videos that I do, I think I do it a little bit differently than other people. I will go through my collection and we will pick out the makeup that I'm going to use for the month, and then I will pick out of those products a full face and then just kind of talk to you guys about what's going on in my life, anything that has to pertain with what I'm not doing when I'm sitting in front of a camera. If you're interested to see what's kind of going on with me and also how we came up with this look, then make sure to keep on watching. But before you go any further, please make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. I post on this channel every 4 days, so you never have to miss me for too long. But yeah, let's get into it.
If you guys didn't watch my Shop My Stash video last month, I would definitely recommend going and watching that because none of this is going to make sense. Replacing all this makeup, and then in the actual filming part of the video, I'll pick a couple of products to use because obviously I can't use 5 foundations and 3 color correctors. That'd be ridiculous. Now we are going to come over to this part of the collection to kind of swap the makeup that I've been using last month for makeup that I've been storing in here. First, I definitely know that I want to try this Hard Candy Hydrating Primer a little bit more this month. This is a dupe of the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip, which you guys know is one of my favorite primers. I do want to also use this Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. I've only used it one time in a full face of first impressions, which is honestly one of my favorite full face of first impressions I've ever done. I also am going to be using this Fenty Beauty Primer. I've only used this once in a full face of first impressions. So tempted to put this in here, but I know that if I put it in there, I'm going to use it like every single day. I did use the Poreless Putty Primer this month a lot, so I'm going to swap it out and give this e.l.f. Matte Putty Primer a little bit more love. I'm going to go ahead and use this e.l.f. Mineral Infused Face Primer. I really do love the poreless one right here, and then also the ones that come in the jar except for the hydrating one. I would recommend any e.l.f. primer to you guys except for the hydrating one. It is awful. I'm going to go ahead and pull a 6th one. This is the Revolution Pro Blur Stick. I have not used this a whole bunch. I also have my eye primers over here. I actually only used one last month, and I'm going to go ahead and pull 2 of these. This is the MAC Paint Pot and Ochre, and then this is just the NYX Eyeshadow Base. I love these two. They are dupes for each other. They're just a little bit different, and I talked about both of these in my Best of Beauty for 2020, so if you guys want to check that out, you can. I think I'm just going to use the NYX one. I don't think I need both. I haven't used this one in a really long time. This is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Eyeshadow Primer. I'm going to pick like 5 different foundations to use. I have not used this Milk Makeup Flex Stick Foundation in a very long time. Like I think since I very first got it in March. I tried the liquid version of their foundation and I absolutely hated it, but I don't even remember really despising this, so I guess it was all right. So I'm going to use this one. So tempted to use this NARS Soft Matte because it's so good. Fenty Beauty Hydrating Primer, which I also used in a full face of first impressions. I completely forgot that I had it. This is the Juvia's Place I Am Magic Foundation. This stuff is so full coverage. This is in the color 410. I'm going to go ahead and use this Maybelline Super Stay. I have only used this once also, and I actually really liked it the first time. Estee Lauder Double Wear. So those are the magical 5, and I can actually fit one more in my drawer over there. So I am gonna go ahead. I'm gonna use my Maybelline Fit Me. I haven't used this in a really long time, and I'm almost done with this bottle, so let's finish it up. These are my foundations that are too dark for me right now, and then I have color correctors, pot concealers for my eyebrows, and then all of my other concealers. I'm gonna use this KVD one because I really don't have a good idea. I have so much new makeup right now that most of this makeup in here has only been used once. It's either that, or it's like a favorite, or it's like kind of meh, mediocre. Those are the 3 categories. Pull this one because it was something, and I'm gonna say was something that I really liked. I wore this for 2 or 3 days, I think. And it was really like the only new product that I was using at the time. I stopped wearing makeup for a couple days, and my under eyes were so patchy and peeling, and they were so red and dry, and I want to know if it's from this, because if so, I want to get rid of it. Oldie but a goodie, the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind. If you haven't tried this, you need it in your life. I've ever mentioned this concealer because it is like really close to my perfect shade. It's actually a perfect match. When I use concealers, I really don't go for a perfect match, but I'm going to go ahead and use this one because I do like it. Spot concealing if I'm doing like a light coverage or medium coverage or something like that. Morphe one, which I also did like when I was using it for a little bit. These are the 5 for this month. I'm only going to pick out one color corrector because the one that I have in there I actually did not even touch, I don't think, this month. The LA Girl Pro is supposed to be a dupe of this. When I used it in a dupes video, this one actually had more coverage, but I want to see what this one looks like its own, especially how it works with products over multiple days. That's when you can get the best feel about a product, is when you use it consecutively. I'm going to use both of these pot concealers because I only have 4. For this month, I'm going to be using NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer, and this is in the color Medium Dark 2, Benefit Boing, and this is in the color 5. effective. Loose powder and pressed powder. I'm thinking that I can do 4 of each. I know I want to use this Too Faced Born This Way. This is the color Translucent Deep. I want to use this one more because I really haven't used it except for in a full face of First Impressions. The Too Faced Born This Way complexion line is one of my favorites. I'm going to go ahead and use this NARS Light Reflecting Loose Powder, and this is also in the color Sunstone. I have to have at least one translucent, so I'm going to go ahead and use this KVD Locket Setting Powder in translucent. I've used this a couple times and I actually really like it. It's very hard to find good translucent powder, especially if you are darker. I'm going to go ahead and use this e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting Powder. I mean, it's all right. It's not something that I super rave about. But I think that this would be really good with like a super matte concealer, because I found that when I put it with my concealers that are a little bit more creamy and natural, I'm just not used to having that glowy of an under eye. So I'm going to try this with a little bit more of a dry concealer. It's not bad. I'm not used to that glow. For pressed powder, I'm actually going to be using this Iman Luxury Pressed Powder. This is in the color Clay Medium Dark. This is one of my lighter powders, but I have noticed, especially within the past month, I've definitely lost my color from this summer. I can keep my tan for up to like 3 to 4 months before it really starts to fade. I have a Maybelline Fit Me pressed powder over there that I'm going to keep over there because I want to empty it. So I really only need 2 more. Component is completely broken. As you guys can see, this is actually a MAC Studio Fix. It's something that I bought off of AliExpress, which I mentioned in my haul that I had some. So I'm trying to use these 2 up because I bought them off AliExpress. Please do not buy your makeup off AliExpress. You just never know where it comes from. You can't guarantee that it's safe. But the only reason I'm keeping these is because I've used them for so long and they've never really broken my skin out. Since the other 2 that I have are a little bit lighter, I'm going to use this Clinique pressed powder. I love this stuff. It is one of my darker powders. Next drawer is highlighter, bronze, contour, blush, and then blush palettes, which I'll get into my palettes in a second because they're completely different. I'm going to pick 2 different highlighters. I already know that I love this one from Maybelline, so I'm actually going to use this NYX Born to Glow one. This is a loose highlighter. This is in the color Warm Stone. Every time I've used this, I've absolutely loved it. It's so super blinding and so pigmented. I'm going to use this Juvia's Place one. This is the Tribe Volume 2. This is so pretty. Oh my gosh. I have 2 cream contours over there. I actually had the Huda Beauty one, and I think it got tucked back away, which is something I hate about having deep drawers. Stuff gets tucked away and you forget about it. So I'm going to use that one. It is in the color Espresso. It's just their HG Studio Photogenic Concealer. I use this as a contour underneath my foundation. First one is the Benefit Hoola Toasted Bronzer. The second one is this Fenty Beauty Bronzer, and this is in the color Mocha Mommy. You guys know I love NYX Sweet Cheeks blushes. They are so gorgeous. I'm actually gonna use this Mentioned Cosmetics one. I kind of forgot that I had it because I've been buying all of these new blushes. It's just a really super deep plum pink color for a little bit more of a toned down blush. This is the MAC blush in Raisin. It's just a really pretty brown pink nude shade. It's like, is she wearing blush? Is she not wearing blush? That's kind of what vibe this gives me. I think I'm gonna pick 3 lip liners, 2 glosses, 1 liquid lip, and then 1 regular lip. I'm gonna be using this Glossier Mintbomb.com. This is something that is a little bit thicker and it is winter time. My lip care is something I definitely struggle with. For my lipstick, I'm gonna be using this MAC lipstick. It's in the color Persistence. I don't even think that they sell this color anymore. I try not to mention stuff on my channel that you guys can't get your hands on. I wasn't aware that you guys couldn't get your hands on this when I was mentioning it. One of my favorite liquid lipsticks is this one from L'Oreal. I just love this color. It is in I Explore. Not the most pigmented thing in the world, but the color is so perfect. I'm gonna use this NYX Professional lip pencil, and this is in the color Nutmeg. I'm not really the biggest fan of pencil formulas, but if the color's good, then I will make an exception. I prefer gel. This is also a NYX. This is a gel formula though. This is the Slide On Glide On. This is in the color Need Me. If you guys have watched my favorite videos, these Sephora lip liners, these 2 in particular, Rosewood and Hot Sauce, are like the perfect nudes if you are somebody who is darker. I'm gonna go ahead and use Rosewood. I'm gonna pick 2 lip glosses. This first one is by Fenty Beauty. It is the color Hot Chocolate. I think I'm just gonna go for this Juvia's Place lip gloss. This used to be like my ride or die. I have not used it in so long. It's in the color Sis. This is my last drawer before we get into eyeshadows. What I love about the fact that I've had this other drawer is that I can really use a lot of my single eyeshadows more than what I normally do. I want to use at least this top e.l.f. Bite Size eyeshadow. This in the color Pumpkin Pie. I love these so much. They are so good for the price, so pigmented, and they're obviously super convenient because of their size. I am going to use this MAC paint pot, and this is in the color Indian Wood. This is so pretty if you put it as an eyeshadow base and then put like something glittery over top of it. e.l.f. liquid eyeshadow, and this is in the color Copper Pop. You know what? I'm gonna be bold. I don't even know if they sell these anymore, but like I said, this is more for like personal wear when I'm not filming. The matte glitter in the color Gold. My NYX Epic Wear Liners. I love these. I think I'm kind of like reminiscing on my Best of Beauty video and just using makeup that I love, because you kind of forget what you love when you're just testing out new stuff all the time. I'm actually gonna use both of these pomades. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills in the color Ebony, and then this is the NYX Tame & Frame, and this is in the color Espresso. These are very similar. Keep it simple and go with 2 mascaras. So this is the J-Cat Lengthening Mascara. This stuff is so good for your lower lashes, and I'm also gonna use the L'Oreal Telescopic. I just bought a new one because I had to throw away my old one. The wand on it was horrible. Okay, so I wasn't sure how many I was gonna be able to fit, so I kind of picked them out first and then wanted to show you guys this Carity Contour Palette and this Ofra Cosmetics Nikki Tutorials Highlighter Palette. I kept both of these because I really did not touch them at all, and those were like my face palettes. I picked out the e.l.f. Retro Paradise Natasha Denona Bronze Palette, one of my favorites. Also a newer favorite that I just have been sleeping on is this Juvia's Place The Chocolate. And then also I picked like a lot of nude palettes this month because that's just the vibe. This Iconic London palette. It's a little bit chunkier. I wish it wasn't so thick. I reviewed this palette, A Full Face of First Impressions. This is the Nikki Tutorials eyeshadow palette. I know something a little bit more bold than what I'd usually go for. I really did not like it when I first tried it, so I'm going to try it a couple times, and if I still am feeling the same way, I'm going to go ahead, decide that I can put it in a full face of products I'm getting rid of. Also, another product I've been iffy on is this Morphe James Charles palette. I was so excited to try this, and it just like was not up to par compared to some other colorful eyeshadow palettes I've tried, and even some like neutral shades just did not impress me. And finally, moved all my sponges, powder puffs down here. That is it for this part. So now let's do some makeup.
Usually I will show you guys my brows, but I have noticed when I try to talk and do my brows, the two just don't combine. So I'm just gonna show you guys what I used. I used this e.l.f. Ultra Precise Brow Pencil, and this is in the color Cool Brown. And then for my pomade, I just used my Anastasia Beverly Hills, and this is in the color Ebony. And to clean up my brows, I used this NARS Soft Matte Concealer, and this is in the color Caramel. I know I literally just talked about how I hate that people don't show them doing their eyebrows, but I just cannot talk and do them at the same time. I think from now on, in just the Shop My Stashes, I'm not gonna do them, but in every other video you guys will see me do them because I love watching people do their brows. I know that I had mentioned that I was going to be doing a giveaway when I hit 500 subscribers, and I will be doing the giveaway. I want to do the giveaway in a specific video, and I have a lot of other videos that need to be put out before that one does, if that makes any type of sense. When I review products for you guys, I try to review them as fast as I can and to as close as the release date as I can, but sometimes that just doesn't happen because newer products come out and they have my more priority, and then I have my monthly videos that I do, so like my Shop My Stash. The giveaway will be coming. I just didn't want you guys to think that I was like flaking out, because I'm not. You guys can probably see this little scab that I have on the inside of my eye. Long story short, I have mentioned this probably 20 million times and you're probably sick of hearing it. I am allergic to my eyelash extension. The first couple days I have them, my eyes itch so bad, and then after that it's fine. And I guess they just itched extra this time. I don't know if it's because I got them a little bit longer, but I was itching the crap out of the inside of my eye in the middle of the night, and I woke up the next morning and it was really raw and red. So it's just scabbing right now. Finally caved and made a TikTok, and I'm not gonna lie, I have really been enjoying posting. I've actually been trying to post on there every day. I never spent a lot of time on TikTok because I had friends that would spend hours and hours on their day, like 6 hours a day, and that was just a habit I did not want to create. But then I was like, oh my gosh, Anissa, you're not even thinking about all the people that you could reach and share your passion for makeup with, and also grow your YouTube channel at the same time. It never occurred to me like that. Filming TikToks are easier than filming a YouTube video, because you think after I film a YouTube video that's about an hour and a half, then I have to edit that, and that can be anywhere from 4 to 7 hours, and then I have to do a thumbnail, and then I have to do a description box, and then I have to upload it. It's a lot, but I love it. I'm not very up to date on like music and stuff. I've kind of always just listened to the same stuff over and over. I'm really excited. It seems like a very good platform. The only thing that really turned me off was when they were talking about banning TikTok. I was like, I don't know if this is something I even want to get involved in, because say I get really attached to it and I really end up loving it, then I'm just gonna have to give it up. My TikTok is Beauty by Nisa. So a lot of the looks that you guys see on my Instagram, my beauty Instagram, I'll have full tutorials on them on my TikTok. And it's actually challenged me to play with a little bit more color, because since I've been trying to film one every single day, this is the perfect way to kind of get me more, not involved, but to really sit down and experiment with makeup on a daily basis. Since this is the first Shop My Stash of the year, I use these videos to kind of reflect on the past month, but I decided that it'd be kind of fun to just kind of reflect on 2020 as a whole. I went all throughout 2020 saying that it was a really amazing year, and I felt like I really grew as a person, which I still definitely stand by. I have never experienced so much personal growth. I did a lot of things that I will remember for the rest of my life. I went and saw Post Malone in person. I got into my dream college. I started my senior year. I started my dream job. So many amazing things happened to me in 2020. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Probably the last 2 weeks of 2020, I just was not doing well at all. And I don't know if you guys could kind of tell from that in my last Shop My Stash, because I really was not very talkative. I've been working a lot. I mean, a lot. I've been working pretty much full time. I work 32 to 40 hours a week on top of school. If you guys are new here, I am a healthcare worker, so I've been picking up a lot of shifts to help out. I work with older people, and obviously they have been the hardest hit community in this crazy world that's going on right now. Through this whole pandemic, I never really broke down emotionally. I think I held it together pretty well. And I think I held it together pretty well because I was so busy doing a million other things that it wasn't the only thing that I was thinking about. When I go to work now, I love my job, don't get me wrong, but it's really hard emotionally. I mean, everybody is depressed, everybody is declining physically, mentally, emotionally. So you become who you surround yourself with. And that's not even just in the workplace, that's in life. The attitudes that you are surrounded by, the atmospheres that you involve yourself in, it takes a toll on you. And I mean, I've just been really down. I haven't felt like myself. I felt really unmotivated. I was like, oh my gosh, Anissa, what's going on? Like, you've had such a good year up until now, what are you doing? And I realized I like to be in control. I don't like to, I don't want to say depend on other people, but a lot of the times in my life when I have had to depend on other people, I usually get let down. We're getting a little deep here today, but I want to be honest with you guys. Out of nowhere, one day, I just started thinking about every single thing in my life that I have regretted doing. And probably for 3 or 4 days, I really let it consume me. I had convinced myself that the only thing that I was made of was the bad things that I had done. The good things didn't matter. I was a bad person, which I know this sounds so weird. I mean, it just sounds so out of nowhere because I have been telling you guys all year. I mean, it's really been a good year for me. And then out of nowhere, I just get hit with all these emotions. I realized I was trying to do life alone. When I say that, I mean spiritually. I was trying to do life alone. I had no interest really in having a relationship with God. I didn't think I had time for it. And I think this was kind of my wake-up call. If you are spiritual people, I would really recommend watching Elevation Church on YouTube. Their sermons are absolutely amazing. I mean, almost every time I shed a tear or two. I grew as a person here on earth, but I want to grow spiritually and have that relationship. I think with me going off to college, I think that kind of introduced those feelings too of self-doubt and of just being really hard on myself. Even my dad, he told me, he was like, you've just been such a happier person all around. You just seem more grounded. I still have my bad days. I do, but I don't see them as bad days. I see them now as opportunities for growth, and I see every day as an opportunity to make myself a better person, not only for myself, but for the people that are in my life. That was definitely something I had to mention to you guys just because, I mean, it really took a huge toll on me. And I think also a big part of it was 2020 coming to an end and me wanting to have all these New Year's resolutions. And I was like, okay, I need to leave all this in the past, all of my baggage. I'm not the same person that I was then. If you are struggling with that, ask for forgiveness, but also make a promise to yourself that you're just not gonna do those things again. I used to have braces back in the day. If you look at my videos, long story short, I never got my bottom retainer. So my bottom teeth are super crooked. I am finally getting Invisalign. I'm super excited. I think I get it February 8th or something like that. And she said it'll be about a year. I was hoping that I could be done with it before I go to college. Guys, I don't know what's happening on the eyes. It honestly doesn't look bad though. I'm so happy that I have been able to play with a little bit of color because I'm not so scared to mix and to try new things. This will not be anywhere, at least in the near future. And when I say near future, I mean like 2 or 3 months because I have all my videos planned out. But how would you guys feel about me like vlogging every once in a while, like a week in my life, a day in my life? I love watching those videos. Maybe it's because I'm nosy and I like knowing what people do in their day-to-day life. In my last video, I know I had mentioned that I was looking at apartments, and I did go look at one and I loved it. It was really nice, really safe community. Oh my gosh, that is everything. But anyways, now since I've looked at the apartment and they know that I'm interested, I am waiting on IU, which is where I'm going to school. It's not going to be any big secret. I'm just waiting on IU's exemption application to open up, and that opens up on February 1st. So as soon as I get the okay from them, then I can sign my lease and I will be set for next year. Before I go off to college, I actually want to go back and get my CNA license. So I am a home health aide right now. Any profession that you do, the more certified you are to do something, the more money you can make. When I move away, I can go get a job that pays a little bit more. Even going into nursing school, it'll make me not more valuable, but it'll make my life a lot easier because I'll already know a lot of the stuff that we're learning. Even when I go to apply for nursing school, it'll look better. I finally got my spring break plans all figured out and stuff, which is really exciting because I wasn't sure if we were going to be able to go. We're actually going to Tampa. I know when I went to Hawaii, I did 3 vlogs. If you guys have not watched those, you seriously should. Those are easily some of my favorite videos that I've ever filmed, because the scenery made it so easy for it to be really cool. Those are the videos that I really did the most editing and doing special stuff like sounds and all that stuff. And those videos are actually what really got me back into doing YouTube in the first place. Fell in love with it again. I haven't been on a vacation since then. That was now that we're in 2021, are you guys like this too? When you go up a year, I get confused by 1 or 2 years. So it was either in 2018 or 2019. Where we're staying does have Wi-Fi, so I still will be uploading. I'll pre-film some videos for you guys, that way you still have content, and that keeps me on my schedule. A lot of exciting things coming up, guys, definitely. And I know I say this all the time, but you know, if you are going through a rough time right now, just know that it will get better. And these seasons of, you know, uncertainty and challenges and seasons that aren't filled with as much optimism, they're what make us stronger and they're what make us better people. Everything you are going through right now, you are going through for a reason. This is actually so perfect because I'm doing my foundation now. I have kind of been going through a complexion crisis, if that makes sense. I have been so conflicted with what undertone I truly am, because for the longest time I really thought I had more of a warm undertone per se, but I have kind of found that if it were between cool, neutral, and warm, I would fall between neutral and warm, not just warm. And I also want to blame a lot of this on brands. A lot of brands will claim to have a cool undertone or a neutral undertone, and it's just simply not. They just categorize it wrong. I'm thinking about doing a video in the future about how to figure out what your undertone is. I think things are a really good match and they look completely different under studio lights than they do in natural lighting. Sometimes, not all the time. You have certain brands that are really good about labeling stuff right and also have a lot of shade range. Sometimes you're so used to being in a restricted shade range that you're like, oh, you know, this is a good enough match, that you never really try to find a perfect match. I refuse, absolutely refuse, to buy a pump for this Estee Lauder Double Wear and the MAC. I think that's so ridiculous. To me, a brand just trying to make extra money and be like, okay, we're gonna take something away that you technically are like entitled to because it's just a part of the packaging, but we're gonna take it away and make you pay extra for it and make it seem like it's optional. That'd be like Apple giving you an iPad with no charger. I didn't know that there was different types of USBs. My computer, the Pro, MacBook Pro, and I think the MacBook Air too, all of the ports are the same versus the old MacBook, they used to have different ports for different types of plugs. No, you have to buy a converter now for everything. I want you to know that I am truly letting you into my life right now. I was reluctant if I was even gonna share this with you guys, but I think I'm going to because maybe somebody can give me some advice. I have always been a clean freak. Rarely do I ever have a messy room. And if I do, it's because A, I'm not here to have to deal with it, so I don't care what it looks like. Or B, I'm just so busy that I don't have the time. The environment I'm in affects how productive I am. So if my room is cluttered and disorganized, that's how I am. I just can't seem to like screw my head on right. And I've definitely found too, to prevent that from even happening, I really try to, especially when I'm doing my makeup, I will start a little bit early. That way I have time to wipe my desk down and put everything back where it was. That way I don't even have to worry about that. This also goes along with me working more. The past couple of weeks, I have definitely noticed that I have some OCD tendencies. And I think to a point, almost everybody, if you consider yourself to be a clean person, has OCD tendencies. But let me just give you guys a couple examples. I was in this lady's room and her bedspread was crooked, so there was more on one side than there was on the other. I had noticed it, but I was too busy, so I couldn't go and fix it. I thought about it all day until I went back down there and fixed it, and I was fine. I was folding laundry last week, and I folded all the laundry. I closed the dryer. I was like, I have to open it again to make sure there's no more laundry in there. Bear with me because I'm literally trying to do 20 things at once right now. So a little bit of an intermission because my dumb self recorded the last half of the video and I pulled my SD card out before I stopped pressing record. Pretty much it's becoming crippling and it's definitely being triggered, I think, by my stress. I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about my reviews. So I'm really still trying to learn what process works the best for me, what is the best way to give you guys the most in-depth overall consensus on a product. And I really try to review the product, but also tell you if I think it would work for you based on your skin type, based on how it worked for me. If you guys kind of have any suggestions as to how you think I should be reviewing products, please let me know. If there's a certain type of way, any tips, anything additional that I'm not giving you that you would like to see, please let me know, because I mean, I do these videos for you guys. I do them to tell you guys what I think is worth the money, what I think is not worth the money. There's one last thing that I really want to tell you guys, because A, I'm telling you because I think it's weird, but I'm also telling you for in the future, if something happens to come up or there's some type of controversy, I have proof that it was not me. There was a point in time that I did a series on my channel where I did BoxyCharm unboxings. I really stopped doing them because I felt like I just wasn't getting my money's worth. If you like all the products in your box, then yeah, it's definitely worth the money, but I was only liking a couple things. I get lucky sometimes and like the majority of the stuff, I cancel my subscription. I have pictures and screenshots of showing you guys that my subscription has been canceled, it hasn't been activated. The card that's in the system, it doesn't even work anymore. It got disabled. For a while, BoxyCharm kept sending me BoxyCharms. I would always return them. I always emailed them and I told them, hey, I canceled my subscription, please stop sending these to me. So probably for 4 or 5 months, I would send them back. So finally this month, I was like, okay, how are they sending me these boxes? Because my parents aren't getting charged for them. We were checking. So there must be some glitch in their system to where they think that we're still paying for them. So I called my dad and I double checked. I was like, hey, make sure that they're not charging you for these, because if so, I'm done returning them. I'm done going out of my way to help them when they obviously don't return any of my emails. I always return the boxes. So I finally opened my box this month and it's actually pretty good. I think from now on, I'm not going to do BoxyCharm unboxings because those just really aren't my thing anymore. I'm going to just throw the makeup in full face of first impressions videos and review it that way for you guys until they figure out that they've been sending me them for free. And I felt bad because I kept on returning them because I was like, we're not paying for these, like let's send them back. This is how my life is going today. I'm a hot mess, y'all. I really am. Do you guys just ever have those days where you just feel like you're doing everything in your power to try to be productive and it's just not happening? If you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. I have a whole playlist of videos like this that I will link right up here for you guys. I also have a whole bunch of different playlists that I will link down in the description box. If you guys are binge watchers, those are perfect for you. Thank you for listening to what I have to say. If you stayed till the end, you are a real one. Thank you guys for watching and I will see you in the next one. Bye.